And welcome back to our blind read-through of Saya no Uta, the Song of Saya. Well, there's really no nice way to say it. Our good pals Fuminori and Saya, defying all expectations, I'm sure, have finally taken that final step off into the oblivion that is living the life that they wish to live together. And we're here to just bear witness to all of it. So let's just do that. Let's just go ahead and bear witness to all the to all the awful that I am almost entirely 100% sure that certain good friends like Yo and Koji, all the badness that they're in for. Last time we were with our friend Koji, he found himself at the bottom of a well. Koji soon loses his balance entirely. He feels a terrifying weightlessness as the world spins before his eyes. Before he can realize what has happened, his back strikes something with tremendous force. He thrashes wildly as cold, dirty water fills his mouth and freezes him to the core. Only when his fingers find the wall of the well is he able to regain his sense of direction and right himself. Yeah, this has gotta suck. We are now like in the dead of winter, at the bottom of a well. It is what felt like maybe kind of a shallow well, but I'm sure that there's no well that anybody wants to be in these kinds of conditions, in this remote of an area. On his hands and knees in the mud, Koji vomits filthy water out of his lungs. Fuminori! He tries to shout, but it comes out as a hoarse groan. Fuminori's laughter, on the other hand, is crystal clear. Sorry for interrupting your call, he says scornfully. Here, I'll return this. Fuminori tosses Koji's phone into the well. Koji catches it just before it hits him in the face, but finds the battery pack has been removed, rendering it useless. This is no joke. It's a miracle that Koji is uninjured. He could easily have broken his neck. And just because he's not hurt doesn't mean that he's safe. Koji feels around the inside of the well, searching for something to hold on to, but the mud-covered stone offers no purchase. It's obvious that he won't be able to get out without help. Yeah, it's pretty bad luck. This is a very bad situation to be in. You can't be serious, Koji starts to say, but trails off as the pieces finally come together in his head. Today's sudden change in Fuminori's attitude, that smile that has always seemed somehow malevolent. Fuminori hadn't been smiling at Koji, but at the thought of his friend's death. He can't wrap his head around this turn of events. Why would Fuminori try to kill him? True, Fuminori had wanted Koji to stay out of his business, but is that really a motive for murder? Well, I think so if you have suspected this dude of murder, or at least in some way being involved in Omi's disappearance. This is kind of exactly how he probably would and should react if he is to do everything he can to ensure that there are no loose ends. I am sure that in his mind, like, Yo is already at the top, of his list of people I want to go get murdered on next. But, as we found out in the previous episode, that's probably well taken care of.
別段今すぐ殺す必要なんてなかったんだけどね。もしかしたらお前は僕の邪魔をするようになりやすくもしれないし。
Yeah.
せっかく人目につかないところまで出かけるんなら ついでにと思ってさ。
You know, wrap up business.
ついでにってお前そんな理由で俺を。
お前死ぬのに理由が欲しいのか。
Do you really need a reason to die? Fuminori replies coldly. He sounds truly amazed that Koji would ask such a thing.
何様のつもりだコージ。人は何の理由もなく死ぬんだよ。僕の両親がそうだったし、僕も危うくそうなりかけた。
むちゃくちゃだ。
That's like the understatement of the century right now.
そんなに理由が欲しいなら一人でじっくり考えない。そこでなら時間はたっぷりあるだろう。
Fuminori disappears from view, leaving Koji alone in the darkness with nothing to connect him to the outside world.
ふみのり、おい、ふみのり。
Koji shouts at the top of his lungs, knowing beyond a doubt that if Fuminori leaves, all hope of rescue will vanish with him. No one will ever hear him calling for help at the bottom of this mountain well.
つくばが大変なんだ。おい、ふみのり、聞いてくれ。
I think he's
ここから出してくれ。
pretty okay with that. In his desperation, Koji no longer comprehends the futility of begging for mercy. No god or devil will answer him. His only hope is that Fuminori will have a change of heart. Praying for a miracle, he keeps calling Fuminori's name. Eventually, the sky grows dark as at the bottom of the well. Koji can no longer make out the edge of the opening, and it has long since lost track of how many hours he's been screaming. Oh, this is absolutely... I hate this. Oh, I can just... This is one of those things where it's so grounded in reality in a way where you can kind of imagine... You can put your... I think it's not hard to imagine being very cold, alone, with no communication at the bottom of a well in the middle of winter. I think that's a very easy mindset to put oneself in, and that is absolutely existentially terrifying in a way. Nevertheless, he continues to scream, for he knows that the despair silence brings will kill him. Well, we're just gonna let that lay, I suppose. I feel great! The same feeling you get when the last piece of a difficult puzzle slides smoothly into place. I have killed a man, and no one will ever know. It is a long way back to civilization, but neither the cold nor the exhaustion can ruin my good mood as I walk alone down the snow-covered mountain road. I was tempted to use Koji's car, but that would have introduced a flaw into the plan. I don't want anyone to connect me to this disappearance. Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think he's driving back, but it's still gonna suck hiking back down a cold-ass mountain. The plan formed in my mind the moment that I realized how remote the location was. Even if I couldn't find anything to lead me to Dr. Ogai, his absence would at least prove that the cabin had been utterly abandoned, in which case it would be the perfect spot to take care of a problem. I knew coming all the way out to Tochigi wouldn't be a waste of time. I didn't even need to use the meat cleaver hidden under my jacket. A dry well? It's not like fate itself. It's like fate itself provided me with the perfect setting. That idiot didn't even realize the danger he was in, and his phone call distracted him enough for me to take him by surprise. Now one of two people whose questions might have caused trouble for me and Saya has vanished from the face of the earth. All that's left is to eliminate the other. Tsukuba Yo. I mustn't underestimate her just because she's less aggressive than Koji. Even she should be able to see a connection between the disappearances of her two friends. I suppose I should be thankful that it was Yo to whom Koji was talking to on the phone. If he had reported our location to a third party, I'd have to track down and eliminate that person too. I'm a little worried about what they were discussing, but judging by how Koji was screaming into the phone, they probably weren't exchanging detailed information. Either way, I'd get rid of Yo as soon as possible. After walking all night long, I finally reached the Nasu Flats station just as the trains start running. We're on the midnight meat train, everybody. Let's go! It only takes an hour to get back to Tokyo on the Limited Express. It's not enough time to rest, but I'm too wound up for that to matter. Besides, I don't want to waste any time thinking up a way to kill Yo. Using the cabin again would be too dangerous, and I'm not sure how I'd get her out there in the first place. I just exploded in her face the other day. I doubt she'll be as quick to trust me as Koji was, which means it will be difficult to get her alone. I could just ask Saya for her opinion, but even I have some pride. I want to show her that I'm a man who can take care of business. Well, my friend, you also have yourself a woman who can also take care of business. Unfortunately, I'm unable to come up with anything before I get home. Well, I suppose I should just be proud of having dealt with Koji, the immediate threat. The search of Dr. Ogai's cabin was a bust, but no trace of his having been with no trace of him having been there, but I see no reason to be frustrated. Saya isn't all that concerned about the doctor's whereabouts, so looking for him is just something to satisfy my own curiosity. I'd like to know a thing or two about Dr. Ogai, and I feel like we're getting low on runtime. This guy has just kind of been quite the enigma the entire game, and I feel there's good reason for that, obviously. But wow, give me something. We've hit a dead end everywhere we went.
Tadaima.
Honey, I'm home. It's morning, half a day later than I normally get home, and the sound of Saya running down the stairs tells me just how impatient she was for my return. It makes me feel warm inside. She throws her arms around my neck, her smile at least 20% brighter than usual.
遅くなってごめんな。いろいろ予定が変わったもんで。
私の方ももうちょっとで準備が終わるとこ。
準備?
Oh, she's been busy. Saya responds to my confusion with a mischievous smile.
文則をね、びっくりさせる準備。
Oh, surprise! I love surprises! I bet Fuminori does too!
どういうこと?
まだ内緒。それより文則疲れてるでしょ？お腹空いてる？それと
I don't realize how hungry I am until Saya mentions it. I walked all night without a bite to eat, and now my stomach's emptiness becomes painfully clear. However, I can't sit down to a leisurely meal while covered in the dirt and sweat of the road.
軽く何か口に入れて、それから風呂に入りたいな。
Yeah, I think that would have been like the first thing I would have been looking to do when I got through a door. I always feel that way anytime it's just cold. Anytime it's like, I hate winter. So anytime I go out in the cold during winter and I come inside, like my first thing is like, man, I sure would like to go grab a shower right now. I don't always do it. Sometimes I can warm up naturally, but sometimes it's just like, nah, I'm not resisting this urge. Just make me hot right now. Because I wonder if there's like health risks involved in that. I know you can get too cold too fast and have a heart attack after being way too hot, so.
そう言うと思って沸かしてあるよ、お風呂。一晩中外にいたんだもんね。寒かったでしょ。
She's so considerate.
ああ、そりゃもう。
I'm amazed by Saya's foresight. She's always ready to give me what I want before I want it. While soaking in the bath together, I tell Saya about my adventure. My adventure! Now, he's just like really enjoying it at this point, isn't he? He's just like, we're done. Humanity, like if he had any fucking regrets at all at this point, or felt the least bit bad about this turn of events, it's not there anymore.
殺すのは思った以上に楽だったんだよ。ただ、帰り道がね。
The heat of the bath is soothing as the sensation of Saya leaning back against my chest as she massages the fatigue out of my stiff leg muscles. Her cute little collarbone rises each time she squeezes my legs, and I can see the soft curves of her breasts floating in the water. Ah, I'm home. Contentment fills me. I don't even need to sleep to relieve my exhaustion. Just like the living room and the bedroom, the bathroom is painted in the colors that Saya and I find pleasing. We've left the entrance and hallway untouched, just in case someone should see inside, so these 3 rooms are the only places I can relax in my own home.
この季節でも山の寒さは尋常じゃないね。薄着で行ったのはつくづく失敗だった。
Yeah, that you should have.
夜中あたりは投資するんじゃないかってヒヤヒヤしたよ。
そのコウジって人の服も取り上げて重ね着してくればよかったのに。
おいおい、コウジは井戸に落としたんだってば。着てた服も井戸の底だよ。
ああ、そっか。
Saya laughs and sticks her tongue out bashfully.
で、あと心配なのがつくばよって女の人。
Don't act coy, you! Don't you dare! Don't you dare sit there and act coy.
コウジが消えたのと僕のことを結びつけて考えそうなのはそいつ一人だけだからね。彼女の始末が終わったらやっと安心できるんだが。
Saya glances at me over her shoulder like she knows something that I don't.
その人の殺し方、もう文則は考えてあるの？
それがまだなんだ。いろいろと考えたんだけどね。
You got any good ideas? Kill her girlfriend? Hit me up. What you got?
任せといて。
Leave it to me, she says, grinning with unusual confidence.
さやはね、文則が想像もつかないような方法を知ってるよ。もう解決したも同然なんだから。
She could take care of her in ways you've never dreamed of, buddy. Probably an understatement. I don't even know if I want to know at this point. Oh God, it's gonna be so bad for that girl. Oh jeez.
そうか。
さてと、もういい加減仕上がってる頃だし。
Okay, it should be ready by now. Saya's voice is full of anticipation. She rises from the bath, her naked body glistening through the steam.
でよ、文則。見てほしいものがあるんだ。
Yay! All right. Here
目
we
をつぶ
go.
って。私がいいって言うまで開いちゃダメ。
What wonderfully grotesque thing have you prepared for us, Saya? You mischievous little scamp.
うん。
I have no idea what's going on, but I do as Saya says and close my eyes. She takes my hand and leads me up the stairs. As I wonder what she has in store for me, the sound of crying reaches my ears. I stiffen.
さや、上に何かいるんじゃ。
目を開けちゃダメ。
No peeking! She admonishes me, then strokes my arms soothingly.
危ないものじゃないから安心して。
Don't worry. There's no danger.
ああ。
Little by little, the crying grows louder. I can hear the misery and pain in every choked sob. At first, I'm amazed that Saya would let anyone in our house after what happened 2 days ago. But then I realize that something is strange. Isn't Saya the only one whose voice can carry such clear emotion to me? Although my eyes are still closed, when Saya leads me into the bedroom, my ears tell me that there's someone only a few feet away, and yet I smell none of the human body odor that normally turns my stomach.
さあ、ご対面。文則、目を開けて。
Happy birthday! I open my eyes and am struck dumb by what I see. Tsukuba is curled up on the floor with not a scrap of clothing to cover her shivering body. When I first lay eyes upon her naked flesh, I am entranced by the sensuality of her generous proportions, far more mature than I would have expected from her usual pure and innocent appearance. Wait, forget about that. Why is she in my bedroom, naked? Why in the world? Oh God, Oh, I don't even want to imagine what has happened to this poor girl in real life. Like, what she even looks like at this point. I know Oh, it's all bad. It's all bad, folks. Oh. And we are going... This is a Gen Urobuchi novel. This is Gen Urobuchi writing, which means we're gonna make it about 100 times worse, especially since it's a girl. Moreover, why is she...
どうふみのり、この子の体どんな風に見える？
綺麗だ。でもなんで僕にもちゃんと。
It doesn't make sense. This is the Tsukuba Yo I remember, not the putrid creature whose attentions I found so unbearable after the accident. My senses recognize her as the human that she is.
この子ね、ふみのりのことが好きだったんだって。
I do know, but I've never told Saya. How did she find out?
だから私、この子の体を作り変えてあげたの。
You're
ちゃ
so
んと
just...
ふみのりにも可愛がってもらえるような姿に。
Get you a girlfriend that'll get you a girlfriend. Saya is, once again, she's just so considerate. Saya pauses to gauge my reaction, then continues with a satisfied nod.
私の同類にしてあげたの。
どうして？どうやって？
I still don't understand why Saya chose Yo, but this last statement is even more baffling. She changed Yo?
ねえふみのり、おとといも言ったでしょ？私には他の生き物の体に細工ができるんだって。
Yes, I remember. She claimed to have done something to Suzumi's brain. Yeah, I thought it was limited to brains, so she can just like, oh no, I can turn you into like a very gross putrid thing. Like in the physical sense. I didn't doubt her sincerity then, but I suppose that some part of me thought she was exaggerating. I hadn't seen her handiwork firsthand. But now...
隣のおじさんにしたような小細工じゃなくて、今回のは大掛かりな変換だったけど、でもこれが私の能力の本当の使い方なんだよ。実際にやってみたのはこれが初めてなんだけど。
Experiment successful, I suppose.
これが本当によ。
Yeah, it looks like her. Yo finally notices my presence and turns her head to face me. I see a faint glimmer of recognition in her glassy, unfocused eyes. Her features are exactly as I remember them. Incredible. This is far beyond mere cosmetic surgery. Once a twisted creature unrecognizable as a human, Yo is now the very image of human femininity. There is no similarity between what she was and what she is, which can only mean that she has become something utterly inhuman. According to Saya, she has become what Saya is.
人か人目の生態構造についてはね、サヤはもうこの星で一番のエキスパートなの。いっぱい勉強したからね。
No one on this planet knows more about the biology of Homo sapiens than I do, Saya declares, her voice full of pride for her first creation. I've studied a lot.
勉強って何を誰から学んだんだ？いつどうやって？
Was it Papa? She couldn't have learned it from Dr. Ogai. No teacher on Earth could impart such knowledge or skill.
だって毎日
あ
緑の注ぎ込んでもらったじゃない。
Wait a minute!
私の中
Wait a minute! Are you telling me? Are you telling me this is another visual novel where a woman's source of power is a dude's dick? Is that it? Is that what's happening here? Of course that's what's happening! That's always the route we go. Saya blushes.
あれ、要は人間っていう生き物の設計図みたいなものだから。私にはそれを読み解くことができるの。好きなように生きることもね。
You're a cum bender? Is that your avatar power? Are you a cum bender? What is she really? I've accepted that she isn't human, but there's more to her than that. Saya is something that far transcends my species. Yeah?
でもね、やっぱり最初だったもんだから手際よくできなくって。
Oh, what wonderful ways might you have screwed up to make this even more, just truly more fucked up than it already is. When Saya approaches, Yo trembles in terror and tries to crawl away, but she is only able to flail her arms and legs wildly. It's like she doesn't know how to move her own body. Yeah, she's not familiar with the body that she has been blessed with. And the only sounds coming out of her mouth are frightened moans.
喋れないのか。
あいにく心の方は壊れちゃったみたい。
Yeah, Saya sighs in mild disappointment. I guess the change broke her mind.
なんだかんだで変身が終わるまでに20時間もかかっちゃったから。ちょっとかわいそうなことしちゃったかな。
It took 20 hours, you
かな
know.
り苦しかっただろう
She
し。
suffered a little bit. I did a little fucky wucky. I feel a little bad. Yo looks up at me pleadingly, as though begging me to save her. She is no longer able to ask for help, though, or even call my name.
どう？気に入ってくれた？
Well, Saya asks, her eyes shining with anticipation. Do you like her? I'm at a loss for words how to respond.
どうって。
Yeah, this still feels like a test. Cause like, I don't know. Like, you did this out of jealousy. And I feel like this is like, oh, you're presenting this to Fuminori in a way that is just like, so do you actually like it? Or...
だってふみのり友達や家族が欲しいって言ってたでしょ。だからこれはさやからのプレゼント。
She's just so kind. Her innocent explanation only confuses me further.
プレゼントって。おいおい。子犬か何かじゃあるまいし。
似たようなもんだよ。どうせ頭の中なんて真っ白なんだから。
I'm happy that Saya wants to please me, but she could use a little more common sense.
いや、人間一人を監禁し続けるっていうのは、多分かなり厄介なもんだと思うよ。
Yeah, now what are we gonna do? Now we got one more mouth to feed with all of that delicious human meat we've been putting back. That shit's not gonna last till Thanksgiving now.
大丈夫だよ。ほら、こうやって
Oh, that-
鎖で繋いであるし。
Okay, well, I mean, that definitely changes everything. The only thing preventing Yo from being totally naked is the leather collar bound around her neck. I have no idea where Saya got it from, but it's the kind of dog collar that would be sold in any pet store. The chrome chain is fastened to one of the bedposts. Yo tries to get away again, but Saya sends her sprawling with a tug of the chain. Yo tumbles to the floor, squealing in pain. Her actions are those of an unintelligent animal, just as Saya said.
それにこの子、どっちみち逃げ出して何かしようとか、そういう難しいことはもうできないから。ね、これでもうふみのりが心配することなんてないでしょ。
You just got all this figured out, don't you? It's Saya the all-knowing. Saya the smartest big brain in the world. Saya has a point. I was racking my brain for a plan to kill Yo, but now my problem has been solved in a way that I could never have imagined. If a normal person looks upon her now, they'll probably see no trace of the old Yo, and if she has no memories and can't even speak, then it's perfect. Saya has killed Yo without taking her life. Though there's still the problem of what she means by giving Yo to me.
嬉しくない？
You're not happy? She asks dejectedly, her confidence suddenly gone.
私、また何か勘違いしてた？
Did I misunderstand
ふみのり
again?
のこと困ら
Is
せ
this
ちゃ
a
った？
problem for you?
いや、
この子の世話はちゃんと私が一人でやるよ。ふみのりにめんどくさい思いなんてさせない
Literally
よ。
just like just a dog. Can we keep her? Can we keep her, please? I want something to torture. That's what you want. You just want a little torture doll is what you want. That's not it. The last thing I want is to reject this symbol of Saya's affection. But how can I explain to Saya why I'm trying not to look at the naked woman writhing on the floor?
そういうことじゃない。違うんだ。
Yo is the first human figure besides Saya that I've seen in the 3 months since the accident. And she's a woman positively glowing with voluptuous feminine beauty. Of course I'm happy. But I also can't ignore the voice of reason that's telling me not to be.
嬉しいよ。嬉しいんだけど、素直に喜んでいいのかどうか。さやのことを思うとさ。
Saya looks puzzled as though she has absolutely no idea what I'm getting at.
いや、だってほら、この子だって。
Well, at least we're rationalizing this out.
僕がさやの他に別の女の子と一緒に暮らすっていうのは嫌じゃないのか。
After considering this briefly, Saya finally seems to understand what I'm trying to say.
そんな、文則って考えすぎだよ。
Maybe I'm worrying too much, although I'm pretty sure that I'm just showing the consideration that any man who's sworn his love to a woman would show. Or maybe Saya doesn't understand that a man faced with a woman's naked body can't help but react regardless of his feelings. I mean, men are just complete animals after all, completely unable to control what's in their pants.
おかしい。本当に優しいんだね、文則って。
そうか。
この子はね、文則のこと喜ばすためだけにさやが用意したの。
Get you a girlfriend. That'll get you a girlfriend.
文則がこの子のこと好きになって、この子と過ごすのを楽しいって思うようになってくれたら、それだけさやも嬉しいんだよ。それ遠慮するようなことじゃないよ。
Well, okay.
こう言っちゃなんだが。
I struggle to find the right words to express my true feelings.
男ってそのものすごく下劣な生き物だから。ほら、イオの体ってさやの裸とはまた全
Dude,
然
you
違う
don't need
特徴
to
がある。
say any of this. Like, she's literally saying, hey, go buck wild. Go fuck on this girl for a bit. Dick her on down. I don't care. It's fine. You don't need to also stand here and tell the woman that's telling you that you can do that, oh, by the way, she got like way bigger titties than you. Got a big old juicy ass. You probably, this is not, my guy, like, learn to just like take yes for an answer.
これってさやのこと好きだって思う気持ちとは全然別のところで、そのかなり気をそそられるってのが。
With each word that I squeeze from my lips, Saya's grin grows wider and wider until finally she starts shaking with laughter.
わかるわかる。文則は男の子だからそれでいいの。正常な本能だよ。
I know, Saya exclaims jovially, patting my shoulder with one hand and wiping tears from her eyes with the other. There's no reason to be ashamed of your natural male instincts.
じゃあさ、この子を可愛がるときはさやも一緒に混ぜてよ。さやの体だけじゃできないような遊び方、みんなで楽しもうよ。ね？
There you go, it's a good bargain. Good deal for everybody, right?
いいのか。
Are you sure? I asked again, as though trying to force her to say no. Oh, okay, she's serious. She's like, yo, listen, dog, I want in on this action too. So, Saya answers me with a smile whose like I have never seen before. It is calm, so terribly calm, and there is something bewitching about the soft set of her lips that sets it apart from her usual bright, childish expression.
文則とさやは恋人同士で、筑波陽はそんな二人のペット。この子は私と文則に可愛がられるたびにそのことを思い出すの。これから毎日ずーっとね。
That's one way of looking at things. I finally know why Saya chose Yo. for the venom in her voice, the smile does not escape me. Although she can no longer answer, if asked, Yo would surely have chosen death over this fate. And that is the very reason Saya visited upon her. How wicked and terrible Saya is. Perhaps others would fear and loathe her. I, however, find her malevolence irresistibly charming. The horrifying cruelty of what she has done to Yo is so very human. Though her shape may be different, her soul is the same as ours. When I look upon Yo's wretched form, I see the intensity and passion of Saya's love for me. For the flames that have consumed Yo are fueled by that very love. And we will stop there for now. I think that's as good a place as any to give things a nice little stopping point, don't you? Don't you feel that that's perfect? Absolutely. Oh boy. Things are not going well for anybody, except for the guy in the well, who's, well, as of the end of this episode, still at the bottom of a well. I have thoughts about that, but I don't know if I should say anything about it. I figure if you're good at watching story details, though, maybe you were on the same level of thinking I am about that. We'll see. Anyway, thanks for coming by. Thanks for watching, and you have a nice rest of your whatever, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.